What's up, everybody? A Spare with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on space engineers. Now, with that out of the way, you guys might notice that there's something a bit off from the last episode. That's this. My solar array has taken flight, apparently, and is now gone. But it's not gone. You might notice it sparking. It's over here. It's right here. It's not where I left it. That's not what it's supposed to be. I happened to load the game, and I went AFK for a minute, and I was looking at some other stuff, watching a couple YouTube tutorials, things like that, and when I came back, I was left with this. A sparking husk. Now, I'm obviously going to reload it, but this does tie back into a comment that I got on my last episode, which was that I should have actually built these with not one rotor, but with two on each side so that they could actually swing freely without... What is going on? Without hitting the piston. I thought it would take that into account and just rotate back the other way. Apparently that's not how the script actually works. So with that, I'm going to have to do a little bit of tinkering to get this to work, I think. But I don't know that it'll end up being the focal point of the whole episode, but it's gonna need some work. So let's get started on that. Much better. Much less broken. So yeah, we're gonna have to modify this slightly. I'm not entirely sure how I want to do this, but I think I might do... we're obviously going to put a rotor over here on this side, but I think what I'm going to end up having to do is keep an eye on my hydrogen. I turned off the script and the rotors as well so that they'll just kind of sit here for now, as should be evident by the fact that they're not moving. But I'm thinking two sets of two instead of this one set of three. By that I mean rows. Like having, well, or columns? Probably more accurate. So having a rotor with two columns and then a rotor with two columns is probably how I'll do that. With something similar to this, though I may not end up using batteries. I'm not sure, just because those were a pain in the butt to make in terms of resources. So I don't think I have enough to do the batteries anyway, so I might have to just kind of wing it. Oh, I need stuff. That makes sense. So yeah, that wasn't actually going to be my focal point for this episode. I was going to try and do some other stuff, but it became kind of a necessary thing that needed to be taken care of. Otherwise, it was just going to crash, break, burn, and die. I also wanted to bring up the things that... Was it steel plates that I needed? Let's grab a couple of those too. I also wanted to bring up the mention that I had brought up the last episode about OBS and the recording quality of everything. I don't know exactly what's going on with it yet. I don't know if it's better, worse, same, if it's just the graphics card stuff. I have a couple suspicions though. Probably should get this going a bit better. Oh, we could use our new grinder drone on this. That sounds fun. Let's try that out. Alright, so we have... I can't remember which is which. I think this is recharge. Let's check. Drone batteries. Not recharging. Okay, so they're not set to recharge. We'll turn our thrusters on. Do I still have my grinders set up correctly? I think I do. Let's turn... I guess I left my gyroscopes and everything off. Or on, I mean. I don't have my thrusters on. There we go. I can't ever figure out what quantifies as damage in this either, because sometimes thrusters damage things, sometimes they don't. I never know. Alright, so those work. Cool. So yeah. So much better than doing it yourself. At some point I'll probably have to make a welder thing for this as well. Like a second attachment or something. There was a couple of suggestions on how I could improve the grinder design and stuff, but I'm not really that worried about it because it's just kind of for functionality and use. I'm not really too concerned about... Ooh, I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful at which ones I break, though, because that middle one is holding everything together. Let's do the outside ones first. But one of the things that I wanted to mention about the quality issues that I've been having, I don't know if part of it is from the visible mod that I was using to improve the voxel terrain and stuff like that, and if vanilla Space Engineers would still be as having the same graphical issues or not. But I did turn down the textures and I think shadow quality down to medium. So let me know if this episode ends up a little bit smoother for you guys than the previous ones. And as always, I'll try and make more of an effort to optimize, streamline, make everything better, etc. and so on. But trial and error and getting feedback from everybody is usually the best way to go about doing that. So I am looking into improving my graphics card. For those of you that remember, I did... if I do it this way, I don't think I need that battery, actually. So I can probably put that on the other side, and then I don't have to build anymore. Perfect. That works. There we go. Cool. I like my little grinder. Works really well. I still have yet to really look for, but I still have yet to find a script for making it kind of an automated drone. But, you know, eventually we'll figure that part out. I haven't really had time to look into it, personally. That's one of the reasons. We'll turn that off, turn that back on. Perfect. Yeah, I like it. That's our first real major use of the grinder, and it works really well. Now, as I said previously, so basically, what I can do is access the grinders from in here, or from this, because it should all then move through a large, but I can't grab stuff from there. I could only grab the smaller things. So these are empty, which is interesting. Unless I just didn't get anything that was actually low. Oh, I forgot about the battery thing. They only give you X amount of power cells back. Poo. I forgot all about that. Dagnabbit. I don't remember what else I'll need for all of this. Apparently I need large steel tubes. Where's batteries? Let's go ahead and throw a battery. How did I have this set up? Something like that. There we go. I really wish it wouldn't do that. It keeps snapping around everywhere. Oh, we're going to need a lot more power cells. So steel tubes and power cells. And then we should have everything we need for at least one side of the, wow, that was weird. One side of the solar array, and then we can use, we can put another set over here, and we'll have the same solar array, or solar panels as we did before, but then we'll have another extension to go off of where we can do another set of 3, in theory. But first, we need to make more power cells. What did I say it was? Like 120, and I think there was 15, so 105, give or take. I don't think that's enough. I think I need one more. Perfect, we do have enough. Cool. I didn't think I would. But yeah, so I'll continue to try and iron out the kinks in the quality level. If you guys are happy with it, that's fine. You can let me know. But I like to make sure that everything's coming out the right way. And if I end up in, it'll kind of be a finance thing as to whether or not I'll be able to do an upgrade on my graphics card or not. But I started to say, for those of you that aren't aware, most of you are, but I had to kind of do a system rebuild not too long ago, probably a few months ago, because my previous system crashed. So I upgraded most everything. I mean, I've got more RAM, I've got more CPU power. I went to an 8-core Ryzen, as opposed to, gosh, my old... That was really a bottleneck on my old system, was the CPU. The CPU was... I think it was... I keep falling through those rotor heads. I think it was something like... It wasn't too bad when I bought it, but it was years ago. It was like a quad-core at 2.8 gigahertz or something, so it wasn't terrible, but a lot of the newer games were starting to really put up a fuss. But... So, yeah, my CPU and everything was better, but in the interest of cost, I had ended up basically using my same GPU. I didn't upgrade my graphics card because at the time it was fairly new. And it was a... what do I have? An NVIDIA, or an EVGA, actually, if you want to get technical. But it's a GTX 960. So it has 4 gigs, and the clock speed, I think it was one of the factory superclocked. So the speeds on it, on the memory, were a bit higher than the standard one. But it may be shown its age a little bit now that my processor is able to keep up, and then more stuff comes down to the graphics card. So I've been hearing a lot about... you know, if everything's working for me on my end and OBS is having trouble, then it's not, then it's basically that the CPU or RAM or something can't keep up. But I think it's actually more of a graphics card issue, because if the, I believe I've also read online that the GPU is where a lot of OBS does its work. I could be informed, but that's what I heard anyway, and it kind of makes sense, because if the game itself is pushing OBS, or I mean pushing the graphics card, then it's going to basically put the game as the priority and not the recording software. So it kind of makes sense. So long story short, let me know what you guys think. I'm kind of rambling here as I'm working. But yeah, long story short, let me know what you think. And I'm wondering if we can modify this a bit, because the driller, so this is kind of a me thing. I don't know if you guys do this or not. Oh, look at that. Look at that. The batteries are charged. It's so pretty. We're getting power, or we were getting power. I don't know what you guys think, but when it comes to the drillers, I always make sure that the drills are spaced in a way that they encompass the chassis of the drone, so that when it drills a tunnel, you can just go straight through, and you don't have to like spin your, move the mouse around to make a wider tunnel or something. You can just go straight, and it'll be big enough that it carves enough room for you to move. I don't make grinders and welders and stuff too often, but that's not really necessary with these. These are a bit more open-ended. I mean, you can have a... Ooh, that would be kind of cool. I was just thinking you could have a welder on the top and the bottom, but that wouldn't really work. What I'm actually thinking is that I might swap these out for conveyor junctions, and then either put another junction or put the elbows there and put welders on the, just right on top here. I'm wondering if that could work. I think that would work, and then we'd have kind of a hybrid drone, if you will. Can I not attach to this? Oh, I need steel plates. I just put everything away, didn't I? That would help. Let's just grab some stuff. Okay, so I can put those there. I don't don't know if this will cause a problem. Like if the grinders, will the grinders try and break down the welders or anything? I don't know. Before we do that though, let's connect these up. Not what I meant to do. Why would you go on the front and the back and not the side that I'm pointing at? That doesn't make any sense. All right, so that should hold that, which I believe in turn will hold this, but just in case, let's go ahead and add a point there, because I'm going to break this down. Okay, now, with this here, we have options. So what are we looking at here? We could do... I'd like to keep the large ports open to the top and the side. I don't think that's possible, though. It's not liking that. So, what I could do is put this here and loop it back around, maybe? And that might actually take care of our other issue with the storage container as well. So if I did this here, I'm still going to run into that problem. Why don't they make these things that they should have one that has, like, I don't know. I don't like how they have this, that it's only ever on one side. You can't do any kind of curves with it. Let's see. How can I make this work? Well, oh, that won't work because of the thrusters. That was the thing that got mentioned in the comments about having to move the thrusters. Okay. Okay, that's what it was. I couldn't remember why I would have to change that. Tell you what, I'm chewing up a lot of time here. Let me go ahead and see if I can modify this, and then we'll try and use it to finish up the solar array, and then maybe do something else depending on what time we have left. Well, that was a fairly interesting series of events. So, first of all, I'm an idiot and should never plan my designs while talking. Secondly, I was in the middle of building what I'm now dubbing the multi-drone, and, yeah, my, gun turrets just started going off, because apparently one of the little, unknown signal pods got a little too close to my airspace. So, yeah, that's pretty awesome. The turrets and stuff work, rather well. I'm rather happy about this. But yeah, the reason I said I'm an idiot, this is all I had to do. I don't know what, I was trying to connect it to that conveyor. Hold on. Did I mess this up again? I think I messed this up again. Because the small ports, yeah. The small ports are facing the cargo container, so I still can't connect it to... Dagnabbit! I thought I had it. Alright, so what would I have to do here? I would have to put a junction on top. I think that's what I have to do. So, I do that. I do this. And that was a bad idea. So, what I'm thinking, let's see while I've got this here, is if I were to do, what would it be? I guess this way. So you have one going, or no, would it be this way? That's the way I had it. That wouldn't work. That connects it to the storage container. Dagnabbit, why is this so complicated? Alright, I'm done. If this doesn't work, I'm done. So here's what I have so far, and it's a little bit more cumbersome. Actually, I hope these thrusters will be enough to keep everything going, and that I didn't add too much extra weight to it. I moved the forward and reverse thrusters onto the bottom here. And essentially what I did was I put 2 conveyors with the large ports facing horizontally on both sides. So we've got the grinders going into the conveyor, which also connects to the storage compartment or container, and then just a loop of conveyor tubes that goes around to the welder. There's probably an easier way to do it. I mean, I could have even done like an elbow, 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 but it's still 3, so it kind of comes out. But yeah, and I also set up our solar cell system over here, and I realized I could actually use this system to offload the materials from the Sky Factory to the main base as well, because I could basically just fly over there, pick up what I need, and fly back, dock, dump the stuff. But in the meantime, let's test out the welders. So we're going to turn off the recharge, turn the thrusters on, turn our gyroscopes on. What else? Anything else? I think we're good. Yeah. So then we'll unlock and fall. That was... Alright, let's turn that off. Okay, we're a little on the sluggish side. Our weight's a little bit... Now, wait a minute. Why do my gyroscopes keep turning on and off? That's so weird. Alright. I like it. I'm detecting a glitch in my batteries. Does anyone else see that this says I have power for 40 years? The backup reactors aren't even on. How do I have power for 40 years? That's amazing. I'm detecting a glitch. Other than that, it makes no sense. So we're gonna go with glitch. Ooh, easy. There's even 22 days, I guess. Now wait, why can't I back up? Oh, that's not good. Okay, so that's... If I rock forward, is that enough? Oh no, there it goes. That was weird. I couldn't back up for a second. Oh, maybe the welders are overloading the power. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Dadgummit. Man, where do you have to be with these welders? You have to be like right on top of the things. Okay, not gonna lie. Drones are cool. Drones are cool. Yeah. Now, again, I probably only have enough for... Oh, it's doing both of them. Nice. I love drones. Drones are so much better than doing all the welding by hand. Perfect. Awesome. It actually doesn't look too bad either to fly around in. Whee! Drones are so much fun. Now, we can do a total of... Stop floating away. A total of 6, I know. The rest of it, I don't think I had enough solar cells for. Let's try and get in the in-between groove. And hopefully we'll have enough daylight that we can test this out. And see if it works. I need to set these batteries to recharge as well. Okay, that works. Now, what about you? I imagine it'll be able to do everything but the solar cells. Because I think I put enough material in there for everything else. But I don't think I had enough solar... Oh! Really? Oh, nice! We had enough. Perfect. Whee! This is actually pretty fun to fly. I have to admit, I've done so much in creative, and then I've tried to do survival and stuff, but I really never got to where I made... Wait a minute, why is that conveyor not working? I just noticed that's red. Why is that red? That shouldn't be red. Everything's all lined up. Weird. This ship is doing some weird stuff, man. Alright, dock. Gyroscopes off. Power off. Recharge on. Get out. Why is this... I'm confused. I'm very... Oh! That's why. Huh. Whoops. That probably would have gone faster if the conveyors had actually been connected the whole time. Moving right along. Alright, so now, what do we need to do? We need to do solar rotor, vertical, solar rotor. Okay, that's vertical, that's horizontal. I'm just going to name the other one horizontal. I'm gonna look for horizontal. That's not going to work. Okay, now, add that. So when you select that, cool. Now, with that in mind, I should, in theory, be able to turn this back on. Oh, it's off. There we go. Error, what was the error? Warning, solar vertical is turned off. Turn it on to use. Okay. Solar rotors, turn those on. I think that should work. Aligned, no errors. It's not putting anything out, but it's dark. Makes sense. Inaccurate, still calculating. Let's just run it and make sure it's doing what it's supposed to. They don't look like they moved. Why did they not move? Let's see here. Aligning. One horizontal. Maybe I shouldn't have named them the same thing. Night mode. Or set to sunrise. Okay, so it is doing stuff. There we go. What about you? Why aren't you moving? It seems like it's trying to, but it's stuck. Let's take a peek here. Current angle. Now, why does that have a current angle? Attached. Okay. This one doesn't have that one does. Shear inertia. Weird. Alright, so everything kind of set up. The only thing I can think of is, although I flipped them, I did this for my own OCD. That if I didn't do it this way, because the stupid anchor points on the solar panels, they would have been flipped to where the battery is at the bottom of the solar panel. If I put them on the same side, it would have been on the top, and it would have had the whole solar panel, solar array rotated, or not rotated, but offset. This one would have been taller than this one. So I put them in reverse, basically, to where there's like a left and a right. It was the best I could come up with for making it work. What are we doing here? I can't tell if that's just inertia from the piston or from the rotor turning, or if it's like trying to constantly correct itself. I don't know. Oh, a super gremlin. One of these days, man, I'm gonna get one of these bigger ships. But yeah, I think that worked well over. I'm super happy with the little drone guy down there, our multi-drone. He was doing some work. But yeah. So I think that'll work now. Now they're a bit free spinning kind of thing. The only thing that would be cool is to eventually do something where they fold up, because right now they kind of stick out, and I'm not sure. Ooh, it's close. I was gonna say I'm not sure if I could actually lower this, and if I did lower it, I'd have to turn off the script that does that, because it cannot spin while it would be down here. Why I'd want to lower it, I don't really know. That wouldn't really make a lot of sense. But I'd probably do a timer block that essentially turns off the script and then lowers it, but I'd still have to make sure it was aligned correctly or something before you did that. Otherwise, it could be stuck like this, and you bring it down and it wedges itself somewhere. So yeah, I don't know about that. I'd have to do some tweaking to make that work. But overall, I think it's set up pretty good, assuming that it doesn't do anything quirky or weird. But I can't really retract it at the moment. But yeah, being able to fold it up would be kind of cool. I think the next step might be to offload a lot of the stuff off the Sky Factory and put it on the base, maybe? Or maybe make a fighter. What do you guys think of that? Maybe for like taking over ships if we made some kind of boarding fighter vessel? That's an interesting idea. Because we have our drones kind of set up now. We can grind stuff down, we can weld stuff, we can drill. Maybe a fighter would be a good idea. Probably with a couple of fixed weapons, maybe some Gatling guns, a couple rocket launchers or something. But I'm almost wondering about turrets because of the way these are. I do not trust my aim. I'm not very familiar with actually piloting and doing combat in Space Engineers because I've very rarely done it. So I'm thinking, can you do... okay, it has a large and a small variant. Oh, weird. The interior turrets are only large. The missile turrets, however, and the Gatling turrets both have small ship variants. That's interesting. Oh, okay. Yeah. I gotcha. we can just stick this on the driller. Actually, that wouldn't work. I need it to be like right there. And I don't really understand. You guys can fill me in on this too if you know. I don't get why the missile turret... Oh, that's a Gatling. Hold on. Let me make sure. Yeah, that's better. I was going to say the missiles I know need a large port, and I saw the small ones, and I was like, why does this have a small port on it? It doesn't... It's not going to make... But it's because I had the Gatling one selected. Always good to pay attention to what you're actually looking at. So yeah, given that we're about out of time, I apologize for this kind of taking up more of the episode. I thought that was done, and when I started, it was just on the ground in pieces, and I was like, okay, well, that's not supposed to do that. So, yeah. So I do apologize for kind of basically rehashing the last episode, which was making a grinder drone and fixing the solar array, but... You know, it is what it is. But I'm thinking, what do you guys want to do next? Because we have our base. I do need to grind that down, but that's not very entertaining. I'll probably either have to do that with a script or off camera or something. I really would like to find a way for me to throw like maybe a sensor like right here on the front and put the sensor field out by the grinders. And then figure out a way for me to have it identify a grid. That's the part I don't know how to do, is for the... I need to find a script that can identify a grid so that it doesn't try and like dismantle the whole base or something, but that it can basically just go, that grid right there, take that down, and if you're running out of power or something, come back and dock, that kind of thing. Though if I have 40 years of power, you know... But, so anyways, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Let me know what you guys want to do next. What's the next step? I'm kind of feeling maybe making a fighter. That kind of feels like maybe the right step. I'm not sure. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. If there's something else that you can think of, some other plan of attack or... functionality that we need, or something to increase the base. At the moment, I don't know how much power this is going to produce and how much I'll need, so I can't tell if that's going to be enough or if I'm going to need multiple arrays or what. But for now, I'm kind of dubbing the power situation pretty good. We've got our drones, so I'm thinking offense might be next, as well as taking this down. But let me know what you think in the comments. In the meantime, I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace.